And welcome back to Stormwater Creek Podcast, live and in color. Today's special guest is Nate Wilson from Austin, Texas. Welcome, Nate.
How y'all doing?
Doing splendid on this wonderful holiday. It's raining outside.
Jared.
You know, what a good day to be inside.
Jared's
Abe, how you feeling
into
today?
this NPR tape.
Abe, what happened to your beard?
Oh, I cleaned myself up, bro.
Yes,
I'm high and tight. You know.
You look
Yeah.
a little
You had
less.
to shave some pounds for that black bear hunt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I do have a joke for you boys.
Exactly.
Okay. So why does Barbie never get pregnant?
Why?
Because Ken comes in a different box.
All right, that's pretty good.
I don't
That's
understand.
pretty good.
Can you
It's
explain?
okay.
Can that be the title of the podcast? Ken
Yeah.
comes in a different box.
Absolutely. There it is.
Ken comes in a different box.
100%. No question. I'm glad we
We're a team.
planted that flag early. I love it.
The least listened to episode.
We haven't
Exactly.
recorded in a minute. Exactly.
Yeah, it's been a.
We haven't recorded in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a.
We've had cancellations with guests. We've had us
Yeah.
not be able to do stuff.
Speaking of
It's
which,
been a while.
I feel like I want to implement a question to somebody who spends a lot of time on the water for guests from now on. Mainly due to the fact that we had a guest that canceled that I feel like he's selling us a bill of goods. Not us, just the public, a bill of goods. So, Nate,
Oh,
in
heavens.
your
Let's do this.
experience, every single accident that has occurred at a boat ramp, like boats falling in the water, it's 100%
be, and
the
if you
fucking
need to.
person's fault. Right? I mean, minus
I don't-
ice.
I don't think I've ever seen one that isn't the person's fault.
It's exactly. It's always
Yeah.
the person's fault, right?
yeah.
Exactly.
Would you say that there is a 0.0 chance that you backed your truck up and you got on some moss and it fell in?
I mean, it's pretty rare.
Like
I don't
never.
know. Like, yeah.
Then let me ask my physics question. If the two front wheels of your truck are on dry concrete, the only thing hooked up to the back of your truck is a kayak trailer, and kayaks float, so that doesn't count. Could that trailer and magic, maybe gravity, but probably
Yeah,
just
no
magic,
way.
pull that truck
No
into
way,
the
yeah.
water?
Is that some
Yeah.
great boat
Yeah,
ramp
I
shenanigans
thought
y'all have
so
been
too.
witnessing?
No, it was.
I just
Abe,
think
you started it. I'm
I
not going
think
to step on
we don't
toes.
need to bring up the dude's name.
Drive
He is
yourself.
an
Okay.
Instagram influencer.
We can,
No,
we
no,
can
no,
share
no,
a
no.
post
His
with
name.
Nate. We can share a post with Nate.
Yeah, we can share a post with you, but he is a I would say a fairly well known bass fisherman in Texas.
His name doesn't rhyme with this.
Yeah,
He doesn't live at this address.
His Instagram handle is not
Continue, I'm
this.
sorry.
yeah, exactly. So it's just Mike
His name
Scoot.
doesn't rhyme with Mike Scoot. Like
No, I know.
that was a Dwight Schrute joke, but continue.
Yeah, it's just
But you
ridiculous.
just
Like
going around
we've
it.
talked
Go.
like we've had a very long conversation about the fact that anytime your truck goes into the water at a boat ramp, it's your fault. I mean, short of you pulling up to a boat ramp that's really steep and you didn't realize there was ice on it, and okay, I could kind of buy that, but I feel like also like I could get myself like I may have jackknifed
No.
the boat, like trying to get myself caught, but I wouldn't go into the truck wouldn't be into the water that would require a tow truck to get it out.
Right, yeah.
No. I may get my
Not
back
fully
tires
submerged.
in there. I get my back
No.
tires in
Yeah.
some boat ramps just because you gotta, they're not very
Yeah.
You got to back far in to get your boat deep enough to come off the
Right.
trailer.
I mean,
That's not what we're
I've
talking
seen some pretty sketchy shit just because the guy had a 2-wheel drive truck. You know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sure.
Too
Oh, yeah.
too heavy
Yeah.
of a boat getting pulled out of the water,
Oh yeah.
and it's all wet, and they don't make it
Squirrely.
past the wet,
Yeah.
and it's 2-wheel drive,
Well,
and
there's a little
Good.
trick. If
It
you
goes
just
backwards
barely
instead of
put your
forwards.
parking brake on if
But
you're in a 2-wheel drive truck, you just barely put that parking brake on and it'll help you get out of that wet angle.
That's a pro move.
Helps
pro move.
Helps get both those wheels spinning.
Yeah. So,
little pro tip.
So go.
well,
go
I mean,
away.
I think
love
we
this story so much.
covered it.
So that's the story. Dude dumps his kayak in the water on a kayak trailer,
Like a
and it
50
pulls
oh,
a Dodge Ram
not
or
a-
something. Like I
not
think.
a
I don't
Ranger.
remember. Like a Dodge full size truck
Yeah.
with a full size truck with a shell and rod holders and all kinds of business on it. Front wheels on dry land, based on the pictures we could be seen prior and post. And he says, "I've never seen a boat ramp like this. It's slick and it just slid in. I was out of it and couldn't
Mind
couldn't
you,
believe it was moving." Like, What I think happened is you were backing down the ramp, didn't take it out of reverse
thought you
because you
got
were
it
on
out
your
of
phone
neutral,
and
yeah.
you backed your truck into the lake.
Hopped out, left it in
And I
neutral,
say
hopped
that
out, left it in
because
reverse.
I bonked my truck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because
And his door was
complacency.
shut. And he was like, I looked back at the door was shut and I couldn't get in.
yeah.
I leave my door open anytime I'm like messing with the boat trailer because I can scramble and I guarantee that truck ain't going all the way in.
No.
It may be a mess, but it's not going all the way in. So yeah, he swears it was in park and the emergency brake was on and it just slid into the water kayak trailer behind it. Not a six wheel, 3-axle trailer with a quad engine boat on it, like a kayak
There's a
trailer.
recall.
It's like, bro, just say I put it in
Well-
I didn't take that out of reverse. I said the other day when we were talking about this, I bonked my truck into the side of the garage a tiny bit the other day because I would have bet everyone $1 million my truck was in park, but I was on a Zoom call and sitting in the driveway finishing it. Take my foot off the brake and it
Yeah.
goes forward and bumps into the garage. like
Proper
this.
term.
Yeah.
Well,
He did
but
that.
you can't
but
admit that
backwards.
if you want your insurance
Like-
to help cover your damaged truck.
Yeah. That's
Oh, good
Yeah,
point.
so
I didn't even
we
think
use the
about
term
that.
bonk. You
Yeah.
bonked it. Awesome.
bonked it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bonk.
I'm sorry. Bonk. Bonk. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, that and like I was saying, I mean, complacency. Like if you're someone that does that all the time, every
Totally,
time
totally.
you're on robot mode, just going auto mode, fucking boom, boom,
Oh,
boom,
robot.
and then jump out.
Yeah,
You're like,
robot
oh
mode.
shit.
Robot.
I mean, that's robot.
I'm glad Jared's
mode.
here for all the proper English
Two.
language
I-
lessons.
yeah.
that-
I know talking real good.
Oh, you just wait what he brings to the table. Wait.
Yeah, just buckle
Yeah,
up.
buckle up for what he brings
Listen,
to the table.
I'm not shitting
It's-
blood anymore, dude. I'm back on top.
Splendid.
Hey
Splendid.
man,
It's just-
we're just happy we're happy to see your guts we're back in order. So
So.
Oh, you've been having some tummy problems, Jared?
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah, no, like ER visits and then
Like
a colonoscopy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's
Some
great.
serious tummy problems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I sent a picture to them of what came out of me, and then I was told that it was too much.
Yeah, it was very appreciated too.
Bro, I don't have a soft stomach. I mean, it does not much bothers me. I was like, stop, Jared, just stop. Like I legitimately like.
Oh,
He was like, "Was that too
man.
much?" I'm like,
That's
"Yeah,
good.
man, it was. It was too much." Like, and I'm not saying like I'm maybe it's just the line for me. But that I opened my phone and saw that the last picture that you sent and was like, "We're done here." Like, no,
You're not
sure,
friends
that is
anymore.
it. Yeah, like,
This is
all
why I
right,
told
brother,
you, your
I still like
messages,
you.
don't
Let's
save
keep it
them
that
for
way.
The past year, just start over fresh.
yeah.
Oh,
You
bad.
should make that my contact.
Oh,
picture
no.
on your phone.
that was just text.
So every time I call you, it's just the blood that came out of my ass.
Dear God.
There wasn't.
Oh,
No,
there
it was
was
all
blood.
blood.
That was all blood.
what?
No,
Yeah.
No,
everything was all
the
blood.
first one was all blood. That you're right. Hold
Oh
on.
my god.
Are you okay, man?
Well, I'm fine now. I mean, I haven't shit blood in a week, so I'm good.
Are you sure though? There's no blood's not supposed to come out of there.
Yeah.
That's like a huge problem.
I forget. Somebody
True story.
Yeah.
said
Bro,
something
that's
to
supposed
like,
to have a
"Oh, do you have
gasket on
hemorrhoids?"
it.
And I'm like, bro, that's way too much to be a hemorrhoid. Like a hemorrhoid's
Yeah, no,
like,
that's
yeah,
No, that would be you would have polyps if you have that much blood coming out.
there
of
it was. Yeah, they found
There it
two.
is.
That's not what the doctor said.
Who made that
caused my
differential?
blood.
Hmm.
But to be fair,
Oh, I
Okay,
thought it
two
was.
of us.
What did you think it was?
Abe, your wife was
Abe.
wrong. There was no gerbil in my ass, so we're good. And Jordan, you were wrong because it wasn't due to any sort of sexual pegging or objects going into my orifice,
No penetration.
my anus.
Can I throw? I'm
I thought
gonna
it was
go
on
with
the-
it was Jared's phenomenal diet.
Yeah.
Is what caused it.
I've been good this year. I'm down like almost 30 pounds.
Yeah, he's-
I ain't eating like shit.
Probably 40 pounds now if they just flushed all that out of you.
Oh my god, dude! Have you had a colonoscopy before, Nate?
No, I
Oh,
haven't.
fucking buckle up for whenever you gotta have one. That prep was
Man.
the fucking worst thing ever. I lived on the toilet.
I guess I'm getting to that age now, though, that I'm 40.
Yep.
That,
You're what? But it's really. I think it's 50 now, unless you've got a family history.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
They,
yeah.
Yeah. You just got.
I don't know, Jared's making it sound so fun. I might go in 10 years
You just,
early.
Bro.
just do it early.
You never can be too safe. You know what I'm saying?
My friend said
I
this
thought
one
we
of
were-
the best experiences.
I thought we did that yearly.
5
I'm
out of
just,
5.
trying to, get my mind right.
You
Just
guys
'cause,
haven't been doing this for a while.
The prep was the worst. but The procedure was fucking
Dude, I'm
fantastic.
telling you, I felt like I was talking to someone, and then I was out, and then I woke up, and I wasn't even in the same room anymore. It was awesome.
Yep, exactly. I was put under when they took my wisdom teeth out. What's happening? And it was that I worked at Target, and I was like 16, and I worked an overnight shift setting up the Christmas trees back in the holiday section, dog. And then went in, they put me under, pulled my wisdom teeth out, and I wake up at home in my bed. Like,
Where am I?
holy shit, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel
it's
you.
it's a weird sensation for sure. So
Anyways, enough
yeah,
about my
definitely.
ass blood, right?
totally. I will say that I'd like to properly tell Austin Brown to go fuck himself because of this goddamn bullshit gun nonsense that I'm involved
Whoa.
in now.
Goddamn gun
Uh-oh.
bullshit nonsense.
What gun nonsense are you involved
What's
in?
just happening?
Like I'm totally into buying. I've got to have them
All
now.
of it? All of it?
And so
Oh.
it's just like, yeah, like I was
They're like Pokemon.
I was totally happy.
No, you don't want them. You want
I get
certain, a few specific things that are good.
Stop it!
Like a high point.
Stop
God,
interrupting
Cody.
each other.
Block
God
Cody,
damn
it's
it.
my problem solver.
We ran some like John Wick, I don't know what.
yeah, some drills.
Yeah,
Dude.
and
Yeah.
it's just like that was awesome, and I just really kind of got into that, and so now it's just like, okay, well,
Oh,
gotta have all the
it's
toys.
super addicting, man. My buddy Mike out in West Texas has a whole course set up behind his house, and he's just recently like started shooting competitively. And so last time I was out there running trips and doing like recertifying our wilderness first responder training. After class, we'd go behind the house and run drills and stuff, doing Mozambique and all that other stuff. And
Yeah,
it's fun. And when he's got steel out to
good
600
stuff.
yards, so like you can run all your close drills, and then he's got like a 15 target range from 15 yards to 600 yards.
dude, that's real cool.
Oh, dude, it's
Wow.
super fun with the AR-10. Being able to reach all the way out there, and
Yeah, we've talked about it. Just the fact that it's like
It's
I
super
was
fun.
fine just having like, I've got my deer gun, I've got my shotgun, I got an AR. I was happy, with
Yeah.
all of that, and now it's just like, okay, well, I've got to have, I had an AR pistol. Now I've gotten a carbine. Yeah.
Because there's a carbine match
So
at the
I
end
have
of the
that
month
now.
or end of the year. And last match I shot, they were like,
And-
man, that looks awesome. I was like, it is awesome. And so it's like, well, you need this. Okay, well, you need this too. And like, do you have this? No, well, you need that too. And I'm like, oh, there's a match in Arkansas. But hey, remember how I said 6.5 is the way to go? Well, we can only shoot 308 on this one. So you need to go buy a 308 bolt gun. Like, just, it. Like, oh, okay, so this USPSA match, you don't want to shoot open. So, you bought that pistol, the magwell, you need to take that magwell off before you go shoot this match, and then you need to put it on afterward.
Another
Or
one.
you could just run another gun.
100%.
The pro move is to have several guns. That's the pro move.
That's kind of
Several good guns. Like, I've got a couple ARs, but I don't have I don't have 7 16-inch,
Right.
23 ARs. I think that's nonsensical. Like, I have a short one. I have a little bit longer one for some distance. And that's the
It's
two.
not
I
the
have a
size,
300
mate.
blackout
It's how you use
short
it.
one.
It's the motion.
But that covers
of the
everything.
ocean.
And that
Yeah.
I don't need 7 more of those things.
Well,
Yeah.
I need the
let's back
3
it up a
good
little
ones
bit.
I have.
Saying you
And then
don't
bolt
need.
guns. You need one good bolt gun. And if you're going to shoot some competition, you shoot one big nice bolt gun, and then you need a light hunting gun, like a Springfield Waypoint or a Tika or something. And then that covers that. And then you need one really nice 9mm, like a 2011 in my opinion, or a SIG 320.
Like an X5 Legion.
And that's
That's
all.
it.
That's legitimately all you need.
Hey, I've
That's
got the X5. It's fucking sweet,
Yes.
man.
Is there
The full size
320?
X5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Full size.
dude, I found
320,
it
it's the shit.
on at
They're so nice.
McBride's Guns. It was used. Came with 8 magazines for $579. The mags are $80 a
Those
piece.
magazines
Yeah, man.
are $60 a piece. There you go.
That's a
Yeah.
smoking deal.
Oh my, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, the guy had bought it and then read online all that,
Yeah,
the
there's-
SIG scare shit on all the forums about them going off in the holster and stuff. And so he bought it and then returned it like 2 weeks later, and they were like, "Yeah, here you go."
Here you
I was
go.
like, "Cool."
Yeah.
It's funny. Can they? Sure. I don't know. I just still don't buy it. I have a former coworker who shot pistol at a highly competitive level, and another coworker who was standing next to him as he indeed. He swore
Mhm.
he racked the slide with the mag out, because they were all one round of competition, and then he went to clear it and pointed at the ground right in front of everybody and everybody in the match, and everybody at those matches are fucking tough guys. So
Best spot.
Oh,
points at the ground and pops around it, like 2 inches from this dude's foot.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly he was disqualified, but he swore. He's like, I racked it. The round
Yeah.
just didn't come out. It just didn't come out. Like, you got very comfortable and didn't set your parking brake and your truck rolled. in the
Look at that.
brake.
Look at
Boom,
that.
full circle.
You heard it here first, people.
Places, man.
Exactly. So,
It does. Yeah, it does. So,
yeah, it happens. It happens. But I just don't think guns go off in holsters. I think a few people, I mean, could there be a drop issue? Yeah.
Yeah.
Could there be some actual issue?
No.
Yeah. But a lot of people like to say,
I
my
think some
gun
of that
messed up.
gun-
Like, no, man.
Yeah, and that gun going off in
That trigger
holster
makes
shit
a
is,
thing.
people drawing fast and getting their finger on the
Yeah.
trigger before they need to type shit. And
Like that dude who shot himself in the foot.
But isn't there
100%.
something?
Which one is true? Yeah.
Which one? Which one? I mean,
Well, speaking of,
so
here's a perfect
Yeah, that's
transition. So
what
if
you
you're
need
still
right there.
listening to the podcast and you're like, "All right, are we just going to listen to nonsense?" No, we're not going to listen to nonsense the entire time. We're actually going to talk to Nate about some of that, something he mentioned earlier, which is some of that wilderness, like first responder, like kind of trauma stuff. You went through a training session, right? Because you do the big
Yeah.
guided trips out. At,
yeah,
the
this
Devil's
is
River.
like my 5th recertification now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a great course. I like taking the one out in West Texas just because it's more hands-on. Like REI puts on some, and there's some places in San Antonio and Houston that do them. But a lot of those are, I haven't done them, so I don't know exactly. But like what I've heard from other people is some of those other classes are real classroom oriented.
Yeah.
And the one you take out in Terralingua, because you're out in Big Bend, you're like in the classroom maybe 10% of the time, and then the whole rest of the day is outside running scenarios and learning how to run traction and tourniquets and splints, and you run through like a whole step process of when you find an injured person and what you should start off with questions wise and stuff like that, and where to start. You do a full head to toe assessment on somebody, because if they have a head injury, you don't even go past that, because it doesn't matter, because that's what you have to stop first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they walk you through all of this, and it's a really cool deal. It's put on by Knowles, the one that we do. There's a few other companies that put them on, but I highly recommend it. Even if you don't guide or anything, it's great to know, just because of how much stuff you learn.
It's just one of those things where it's like, if you're going to be running around in the woods or in the marsh, doing whatever you're doing, fishing, you're going to get into it. Yeah, there's probably a good chance that you're going to come across or yourself is going to be pretty injured at one point. You're putting yourself in a place where things happen, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It may never happen, which would be the ultimate thing, but you just never know. We all listened to the meat eater stuff, and it's like these are all people who are very accomplished, very, very good outdoors. We're not talking about morons out there. We're talking about people who spend a lot of time, and shit happens. You just get yourself into a situation, and if you're like, I didn't want to do that, like, oh, okay,
And I mean, in the past couple of years too, it's a lot of just regular people taking the class. Just day-to-day people. I mean, this last one we did, there was like a mother and son and a ranch family from out in West Texas, and they're just all learning it because they like to go out. You don't have to be hunting and fishing to need to know all this stuff.
I mean,
so like
shit can happen anytime.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it so not so much like, I guess, if you will, like industry people?
No, it's a good mix of it's probably 70% industry people and then 30% just outdoors people that are hikers and mountain bikers and stuff like that.
Yeah, people just stay prepared.
But I mean, it's what's funny. I mean, it's not funny. It's fortunate for me is I've used more of it in like day to day, being in Austin and driving down the road and going past a car wreck and pulling over to help out, or we were hiking at Pedernales Falls, and some guy slipped and fell in the bathroom at the state park and smashed his head on the side of the bathroom, and it's like I've had like maybe 4 instances where I really needed to use it, like out in the wilderness, but probably 20 times I've used it in just day-to-day life.
In real life, yeah. Yeah, it's. I think that's the one thing that we were talking earlier about Jeff Bynum, and he was talking about they do that big elk-shaped camp, and that's the one thing that everybody always talks about, because they do a lot of that kind of not a certification like you do, but they talk about like first aid.
They run through the course and
that kind of stuff,
how to set up a bag and stuff.
Everybody has an undersized bag, unless you're doing something like you, right, where you're like out there. But like for me, like I was looking at my first aid kit, and I'm like, well, I mean, I could, if I got a splinter, I'm solid, but if I don't have any like clot, I don't have any, I don't have a tourniquet. No.
I mean, in all honesty, though, you can set up a pretty badass med kit in like a ammo dump pouch size, like a 6-7 inch by 3 inches deep by 4 inches wide. You can run the new cat tourniquets that the military grade, law enforcement grade. That tourniquet is what everyone recommends now. They're almost impossible to screw up. But that's, small. You can run like some Israeli bandages, which are like a battle dressing for like deep lacerations or puncture wounds, stuff like that. You could fit like one sucking chest wound patch, like for if you had like someone got punctured by an arrow or someone got shot, something you can cover that sucking chest wound if they have lung damage. You could fit all that in a pretty small bag, and even like a SAM splint and stuff. But like for us, yeah, we're normally carrying like a, probably 18-inch by 10-inch, waterproof bag with all our stuff just because we have multiple people on the trip with us.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's one of those things I think a lot of people overlook,
Mm-hmm.
and they just,
for sure.
they kind of just, we're fine. We're going to be good. I'm guilty of it all the time, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and everybody worries about food and should, but it's like, what'll kill you quicker than
Bleeding
starving
to
to
death.
Yeah.
Real bad cut.
Mm-hmm.
And
bleeding
the
to death.
recertification stuff's cool because, new ideas come out all the time. And so, like, when you once you get certified and you do these recertification classes, you learn new shit. Like this year, they went over, if someone has a concussion now, you don't have to keep them awake nonstop. They actually say, like, once you get everything figured out and you make sure, that's the problem, you can actually let them rest now. It's what they taught us this year in the recertification class, because they actually found it's better for the human brain when the person's resting, it heals quicker. So, a concussed person, as long as there aren't any, they don't have labored breathing or other problems, but all they did was hit their head really hard, they're saying you can let them rest now, which is kind of nice instead of having to constantly wake a person up, Mm-hmm.
So
but like
you
on
can let
our
'em sleep
trip,
now.
any head injury in the
that's-
backcountry, when we're out there, that's an automatic get them out of there, because we don't have a way to X-ray or see inside of them and know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have a serious head trauma, you're probably getting, sat phone medevac out of there.
Yeah, we're done here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did Jared die? Oh. You looked like you fell asleep at your desk.
I can rest if I have a concussion, right?
Yeah, he had a concussion and he had to take a break.
No, I'm
He's
muted.
reading the thesaurus for more riveting words for us.
Welcome back to what's going on with Jared.
He just keeps introducing the podcast.
Introdosing. There's a new word from Abe right there.
Introdosing.
Introdosing. It's not like microdosing
Introdosing.
something. It's introdosing.
You gotta introdose first.
No, it is like microdosing. It's small intros over and over throughout the
Welcome
podcast.
back. This is part 2 of today's episode. Ken comes inside of a box, another box. Part
28
2.
minutes.
Yeah, part 2. Oh, God.
And then we'll just... we have to end this podcast with that fucking Barbie girl song.
I'll get that down.
Come on, Barbie.
Like Jack Ingram Barbie song, or like the I'm a Barbie girl. That one.
Keep going, Abe.
That one.
No,
The
we're
bad
good.
one.
Yeah, you fucking slut.
Yeah, you know the rest of
Yeah,
the words.
let's hear it.
It probably plays in the
You're
bars.
going
You
to
go
the bar down the
and-
street and dancing with
Galveston.
old Merle and Ethel to Barbie girl.
Let me tell you what, boys.
Drinking Coors Light.
I witnessed at Bubba's the other day.
Do you have some good spots down there?
Oh my God! I'm telling you,
Dude, fucking buckle up.
Yes.
Oh, he has some real good spots.
there's a bar.
He has some
like on the
spots.
outside of my neighborhood called Bubba's, and they've got a couple different locations. And one on the Strand's cool. It's just a sports bar. This one is just a shit fucking bar. They run like a goddamn illegal casino out of there.
I'd be blasting
and I'm just
people's
like-
shit, man.
Hey, fucking what-
Fucking
Them
Like,
like
oh,
last.
the Texas Gaming Commission's listening to the Stormwater Creek podcast.
Fucking
Like,
they're
well, let's
always
go shut
listening.
down Bubba's. They just
We got him. We've got him now, boys.
We got 'em
They-
now.
they-
Like, when I first went to it the first time, Nate, I was like,
Stay
"Oh,
tuned
you got
for part
casino,
3.
like you've got some slot machines back here. Is it just like you win bar credit or something?" And they're like, "No, just bring your ticket over here. We'll cash out."
Oh,
And I was
damn.
like, "Is that illegal?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, no doubt."
Yes.
And they come in here about twice a year and pull them out, and we just go buy new ones
Oh,
because
no,
we make
fuck
enough
that.
money that it doesn't even matter.
It's called a
Yeah.
fucking payoff.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, like I've never like the difference between Dallas and Houston. I've gone to handfuls of bars that are just like they're just running casino, and I'm like, are they cash out? Yeah, we'll cash out. Like, not credit. Like, you'll just give me cash. Like, sure, bring your ticket up here and we'll cash you out.
There's another one, people.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Give me cash.
Yeah, there was a little corner store over by our old house in East Austin that had like 7 slot machines in the back, and all the bums would be in there playing, and he'd cash them out.
Dude, they're just dumping money in that thing, you know? So, but we went into that bar the other night.
Good for them.
My sister was down, and we had been out, and my sister's ex-military, her husband's ex-military. So those motherfuckers drink like, she's just drinking like fucking Jameson and Coke all night long like a fucking man. And I'm like, I'll take another Ultra, please. You know? So, oh my God. So,
Are you guys going to be good to drive?
Pounding it. And we're like, she's like, let's go to that shitty bar. I'm like, all right, let's go. We walked in, and I'm telling you, this motherfucker, this band playing, this dude had just dirty, fucking no shirt with a fucking leather vest, fucking playing just 80s, Motley Crue, Van Halen. He was a character. It was incredible. Tracy's like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, we're not fucking leaving. Like, I can't take my eyes off.
I'm not fucking leaving.
No.
We're not fucking leaving. I was like, they got done, and he laid down on the stage like he had just performed in front of like fucking Wimberley. You know, like it was ridiculous.
Dude, you fucking got to go out there and you got to fucking leave everything out on that fucking stage, man. You got to go out there and give 110%. You got fucking fans out there, dude. You got people working their asses off Monday through Friday. They just want a good time on Saturday. So that's when fucking Leroy goes on down to Bubba's and he fucking plays his heart out.
Get out.
Look at him.
I don't know if you can see this.
Cowboy hat on.
Oh yeah, on social media. But this is it's incredible. Fucking rings on every finger. You know, just on the stage. I mean, he was an entertainer. It was incredible.
It's awesome.
I mean, it was they were horrible.
Next time you see him, you just gotta yell "Freebird" the whole time until he plays it.
No, that kind of dude would get off from Punch Abe in the face with all those ringed fingers.
Is there a jukebox there?
Smoking in the boys' room
I'm playing
again.
for you.
If there's a jukebox there,
the alternate version.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Smoking boys in the boys' room.
B-sides, bro.
Here we go.
Whoa,
different version.
Okay.
It's because he just shaved.
This guy.
He's feeling
like
feisty.
a mouth on you.
He got sassy.
I got sassy for sure. So, all right. So, we talk a little bit about oysters. It feels like that's kind of. You have any updates on oysters? Anything? We're going to talk to Shane Bonneau.
Dan, not since that last meeting I went to, and that was a while back, and that one we went to in POC. And then there was some stuff passed, but no, man, I don't really have any updates on it. I
don't think
Shane will know a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, they just need to get the streamline that process for being able to farm for oysters is I think the way.
Yeah, it seems like it's doing good. I mean, the guys down in Rockport that are doing it and stuff, they seem to be getting some harvestable oysters. So
yeah, well, that's good. Any other kind of crazy or any just regular wildlife news that you're kind of just tracking for yourself, or?
Man, kind of watching these aoudad move across the hill country. They're getting closer, moving further and further east. They're starting to see low fence aoudad around like Llano and a little bit further east of there now and stuff. That's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I got to go. I don't know. They've kind of piqued my interest now. It's after getting to hunt them a couple times. It's the poor man's sheep hunt, and they're a cool animal.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I know there's people that hate them because they're non-native or whatever, but I don't know. I think they're pretty damn awesome. But I got a friend of mine takes care of a small ranch up by Hunt, Texas, just outside of Kerrville, right on the Guadalupe River, and the owners want to get rid of all the aoudad on the property. So we've been getting to go up there and hunt them a little bit, and shot my best ram so far, but he was like 28 3/8 inches, and almost 300 pounds on the scale.
Wow.
Yeah, he was like 296 or 297. He was massive.
Wow.
Thick boy.
That's super
Yeah.
cool.
That's a big odd.
Yeah, I've got a picture of him hanging up in the cooler, and I mean, his feet are touching the ground, and he's 1.5 feet taller than I am.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
that's a big boy.
Big a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I've kind of been on the non-native kick since January. I kind of goose egged deer season this year. I didn't get to hunt as much as I normally do, and I passed on some does during archery season out at my little 30-acre property south of Austin, and I only get does during archery season. And then I've also got antler restrictions, so like my one shooter buck would literally show up like 2 days after I went home every time on camera. And so I think this coming season, I think he made it. He didn't get shot. You know, I didn't see him on any of the pictures that people post from around the area, so hopefully he didn't get shot. But I think this year I'm just going to go stay out there for like 7 days during archery season and just see if I can get him.
live down there for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. Absolutely.
But no, I've done 4 or 5 nilgi hunts this year, and then we've done a couple aoudad hunts, and then just hunting a lot of pigs lately.
Seems cool, man.
Yeah, the nilgi stuff has been really fun.
Did you?
I was going to ask, what around where are you
like
nilgi hunting?
An hour south of Kingsville. I'm married into a great family, and my wife's cousin has 30,000 acres on the Kennedy Ranch that they lease. So we get to go down there and hunt them. Yeah, and it's phenomenal.
That's where I've killed my nilgi.
Kingsville, that's isn't that where Rob lives now?
Yep,
Around there?
Rob. Yeah, that's where Rob moved. Rob and my sister moved down there.
Hell yeah.
Well, then we drew Laguna Atascosa this year as well, and it was just a tough hunt, man. It was like one of the only times on a draw hunt that I've in Texas where literally like every hunter that drew showed up to the hunt that weekend.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a big place, but there was I think like 32 hunters that weekend out there, or 24, 30. It was a lot of people, and had a few, Jake, he had a cow come out at like 25 yards, but had some mesquite branches in the way, and hindsight's 2020. He probably could have let one rip. This is all archery. He probably could have let one rip and made it through those mesquite branches and hit her, but he didn't want to risk it, and so he let her walk. And then I had a few encounters. I got about 80 yards from a nice herd of them, and as I'm getting set up in the brush, like they're coming down the tree line just straight to me, and a group of hunters comes out like 300 yards across the field from me, but they come out of the tree line and they see the herd. They don't see me in the bushes, and I don't know. I'm guessing they were just inexperienced, but they just made a beeline straight across the field, like trying to cut them off, and didn't even like crouch down or anything. I mean, they're just like, yeah, like that half jog sprint people do across the crosswalk, and like traffic's coming. Yeah, they tried to cover like 300 yards like that with, about 12 nilgi in front of them. Yeah, insanely
jumpy anyways.
And then I had another stalk, and I got about 100 yards from a group, and I must have just crawled my way into the middle of a rattlesnake den or snakes wanting to mate. I don't know what it was, but I ran into one snake about 8 yards in front of me on the trail, coiled up, and a nice size. I mean, it's probably a 5.5, 6 foot snake. It was as big around as my forearm. I've got some good video of it. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going this way. And I turned around to back out, and there's 3 more snakes within like 5 yards of me that I had made my way through that I didn't even see in the grass, kind of thing.
God.
Yeah, and so that was, I was like, well, I'm just going to back out and hang out over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm gonna hunt
you're
over
on-
in this location. Whatever comes,
Yeah.
gonna
Wow.
come.
Somewhere that's not here.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. And then we took a group of the duck camp guys down to my cousin's place, and that was an awesome weekend. I think in total 6 or 7 nilgai got shot.
Oh wow.
And we're shooting a bunch of cows for meat, and they do like a culling process with them because they have so many, and they try and keep the population in check, so they get told like how many to shoot each year. And there was something like 46 cows needed to be shot in the next like 40 days. So it
Holy
was kind of
shit.
like, hey, yeah, it was like if you see mature cows, just
Start
shoot
shooting.
one kind
Yeah.
of deal.
Yeah, that's. I imagine that's one of those things for a lot of those people. At some point, when you've got that kind of number of animals that need to be shot, you're kind of like, oh, this may be difficult for us to. Like one person
Oh, I
trying to
mean-
shoot, you just got to try to
Yeah.
get as many people as you can out there. Otherwise, you're just like, all right, I'm going to shoot this, and then I'm going to have to cut it, deal with it, shoot it up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lot of work.
Well, it's almost, it's like shooting 7 elk in a weekend.
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
a lot of animal, man.
Yeah, this ain't some South Texas whitetails that are a big sized dog that you've just you shot and cut up.
But no, it was fun, and we got to, I did a little bit of hunting, but we're most, letting those guys hunt. But we got to go down the weekend before, and I shot my second bull that weekend, and it's pretty awesome. We got it all on video. It was a 73-yard shot with the bow,
Oh wow.
and I hit. It wasn't a perfect shot. I mean, I should have maybe tried to crawl into 60, but I felt good. We'd been shooting on the range out to 80 for like 2 hours the day before, and I was putting, my full quiver in a, 3-inch, target at 80 yards. So I felt comfortable shooting that far, and they had no clue we were there.
Right.
But we had a crosswind. I hit him a little bit low, and he ended up running almost a mile, and made it to a pond.
Yep.
And we found him over there by the pond.
Wow.
Hey,
That's rad.
You're lucky you found him. I've seen
Oh,
him
yeah,
get shot
yeah.
and just disappear into a lot. And they're
yeah, no, luckily that Iron Will kind of filleted his whole belly open. So, I mean, he was just dumping, but it was just a low lung hit. Hey, I need to grab my charger real quick, man. My phone's about to...
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, man, no sweat.
So I while he's gone, I did go to Tyler Childers last night, which was pretty awesome.
Told you, he's not bad. But, like I
It was
said,
very good.
That is awesome.
you guys had to go to the large venue.
713 Music Hall. Yeah.
Is that the one that's by Minute Maid?
Yeah.
Like where there's like a truck yard over there, and there's a bunch of like bars and restaurants and shit.
Yep.
Okay,
It's just like the Toyota Music Center.
it's
and
not
everything.
too bad. Yeah, I did that last tour we did with Less Than Jake. I did sound, and that they have a big analog board, which was a pain in the ass to mix on. But yeah, that's a big spot. They have they have one big room, and they have like maybe one small room there.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
It was good, man. It was really good. John R. Miller was good. He opened up, and then they had a band called Wayne Graham, and nobody in the band's name was Wayne or Graham, which is cool, But they were good Kentucky
Alright, I'm
band.
back.
Welcome back, Nate. But yeah, so it was a fun show. We had a good time.
You know what?
Oh, I bet. That sounded fun.
Yeah, Tyler is
It's a
he
good
played
show.
for 3 hours.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he always puts on a really good show.
It was fabulous,
That's
know.
crazy.
And I felt like it was one of those shows that was like not like because he didn't like play Feathered Indians or Charleston Girl. He didn't play a lot. He played a lot of, obviously he has so many songs and so many good songs, but I felt like he played some stuff that was like they were real into playing it too. So I think that it was like a Wednesday night. So it was like, hey, well, this is not the Friday or Saturday night show. We're gonna play for ourselves a little bit here and had some play. They were awesome,
That always makes the show like super good.
It was incredible. It was good. He's fabulous,
Fabulous.
So fabulous. Speaking of fabulous,
He is.
you caught a big mahi mahi on a fly rod, didn't you?
Yeah, we caught a couple of them, man. Yeah, that was. I've had some pretty good trips this year so far. That was that spot we go down to in Mexico, Sayulita, and man, we went in February this year. We usually go like late summer and early fall, and man, it was just on fire. I mean, every day we went out, it was 30, 40 fish in the boat kind of deal.
Wow. So, like, what do you like to catch a mahi on a fly rod? You know, I'm sure you're using like a 10 weight.
Yeah, really, man. I started pretty much just fishing 12 weights while we're down there because you don't know how big. You know, I mean,
God knows what you're gonna catch.
You might be hooking 10 or 20 pound mahi, or you might hook into a 50 or 60 pound mahi. And I mean, up until about that 25, even 30 pound mark, a 10 weight does a pretty good job on the mahi. But from 30 to 40 pounds is a totally different fish, and from 40 to 50 plus pounds is like a whole nother world.
Yeah, you're just.
And this last trip we did, I broke 3 12 weights while we were down there. Yeah, I came home with one complete rod after this last trip.
That's an expensive.
But it was phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, that's what my buddy makes. I've been fishing these rods with a friend of mine in Hawaii makes. It's called Pelagos flyrods.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I've been watching.
man, they're phenomenal rods, and it's really cool because he's really into feedback. His blanks are his blanks. He doesn't buy like another company's blanks and build the rods off of them. He gets his blanks made specifically for him. And so now, since, you know, broke a couple of these 12 weights that we've been kind of prototyping, and so now next on the chopping block is like a 14, 15 weight rod to take down there.
Like a surf fly rod, you know?
Yeah, it's a broomstick, man. Like, it's miserable to cast, but I mean, you know, we got into a bunch of yellowfin tuna this last trip too, and I mean, again, like 10 to 25 pound yellowfin tuna on a 12 weight is doable. And I mean, even maybe 30 pounds, but that 30 plus pound yellowfin, the amount of speed and power it creates, and then, and after they do these long runs, they dive down deep, and, you know, with that fly rod, you know, with a conventional rod, spinning rod, you know, open face reel bait caster, you know, you can have that rod's going to have a lot of lifting power, whereas a fly rod, you still need to be able to cast a fly line. So that's kind of what we're working on now, is something that has the backbone and lifting power when they dive down deep to be able to winch them back up to the boat.
Holy shit! That's cool. How are you?
Oh, it was mind blowing.
That's rad, dude.
I mean,
Like,
it was one of the coolest things.
Like fishing with like obviously a fly, and you're just like, is you just a big heavy fly getting down, or are you fishing kind of real close to the top of the water?
So, well, I mean, with the tuna, you can fish, you know, from the, you know, they're coming up and boiling on the surface. I've got a bunch of cool video of it. But so essentially what we do is you're cruising around in the boat, and they'll find a big pod of spinner dolphins, and the spinner dolphins are chasing the same anchovies that the tuna are chasing. So if you follow the spinner dolphins, eventually you'll run into the tuna. And so we're following this pod of spinner dolphins, and at first it's 100 yards wide and 80 yards deep. It's a lot of, you know, it's probably 200 dolphins. And then as we get closer and closer to the tuna, man, this pod of dolphins just starts building. And at one point, it had to have been a half a mile wide. I mean, there was 9 boats fishing this bait ball, and the dolphins are 300 yards on either side of the furthest boats from us, and all the boats are spread out 150, 200 yards apart. I mean, it was insane to see. And then out of nowhere, all the dolphins will dive down, and that's when the tuna are pushing the bait ball up to the surface. So, like, you'll see all the dolphins kind of start posturing and jumping different, and they all dive down, and then out of nowhere, the bait comes up to the surface, and, you know, you've got 60-pound tuna rocketing out of the water, 8-9 feet out of the water in some of the blitzes. And so once that's going, it doesn't really matter if you're down deep or on top. Like all you want to do is get your fly out into that boil, and you're just stripping it as fast as you can. Where you're tucking the rod up under your armpit and your two hands stripping the fly line in.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
crazy. Yeah.
And then when they hit, you've got to make sure everything's clear, because it's 0 to 60 in 2 seconds kind of deal. Like that tuna hits, and your 250 yards of backing is taken off the reel within the matter, the first couple seconds of that first run. But I mean, we were, like I only had 12 weights with the biggest rods, and broke a couple on the tuna, broke one on a big mahi, but I mean, we were breaking fish off on like 60 and 80 pound fluorocarbon leader. That we never even got to see. Like where there were probably 100+ pound fish.
Oh my god.
That's so awesome.
That happened to us in Costa Rica. On fly,
I really want to get down to Costa Rica and fish there. Inshore, offshore fishery. It looks phenomenal.
I want to. Yeah, I'm getting pretty
cool.
pumped.
It's crazy.
We went out, took the boat out, and went about 9 miles out to a oil rig.
Oh, nice, man! Heck yeah.
So you got to come down, man. We've got it.
This summer we should. Yeah, I'll bring some big rods down, and we'll go chase kingfish and cobia and stuff around the rigs.
Yeah,
You say when, and I'll come down and you can teach us.
Yeah, I'll tie up some wire leader, and it's real similar. And what's cool is you can use our inshore fishery like that. You can use that for when you do go on like a big trip out of the country. Like go use your practice casting and catching kingfish and cobia and stuff, and that'll help you learn, how to handle those faster, bigger pelagic species and stuff.
Yeah. I really want to catch a jack and a Spanish mackerel real bad down here.
Oh yeah. Jacks are one of my favorite. I'm pretty close. I've got, I think 3 or 4 of the major jacks left to catch, but that's what I love going where we go to in Mexico. They get the Jack Crevalles, they get the horse-eye jacks, they get blue trevally, they get golden trevally.
Oh, wow.
There's a big mix of them down there. Diamond trevally, or some people call them African pompano. But yeah, the jacks are phenomenal just because they're so aggressive and just they want to murder anything in front of them, kind of deal.
I caught that one jack when Jared and I went out fishing in Mexico, and it was like not even a big one, and it was like, holy shit, this thing is like insane.
Yeah, 30, 40 pound jack is hard to beat if you want something to pull against.
Yeah. I've got a buddy who's, he's a deckhand for Sharkies down here, and he's like, he's like, we'll catch jacks, we'll catch. I'm interested in catching some sharks for sure.
Oh, nice!
Never forget. Never forget.
Look at that thing.
That was wonderful.
For those listening, we'll share this picture.
That's Costa Rica, man. I would love to go back there.
Heck yeah!
I was super hungover, but I kind of.
Oh yeah, man.
Fuck yeah!
That's a jack, right? What kind of jack is that?
This is a Jack Crevalle. It looks like, yeah. They've got another one down there, and I can't remember. They have one that is real similar to the Jack Crevalle, but not exactly the same one.
Yeah. We need to do that, and catch a bunch of redfish in the marsh. We got
for
sure. Of that,
100%, man.
We caught about a 3.5, almost 4 foot gar the other day trying to chase up in the marsh, trying to chase redfish in the marsh.
Heck yeah. Fun, man. I love big gar.
Oh, dude, it was crazy. We were running around some different spots and got into this kind of back channel, and we saw a little alligator, and so we were casting over, and sure enough, he tore into my bobber, and we got him pretty much. I mean, he wasn't hooked at all, but we were just trying to get him as close to the boat as we could, and he got probably 6 feet from the boat and He was just like a little 3.5 foot four little baby alligator. But we're like, oh, there's our first one of the year. I'll tell you, that's been the weirdest thing down here is just getting used to that. Especially during teal season when you're just walking around and you're just like, oh shit, there's a fucking gator like right there, So
yeah, oh yeah,
it's
Robin. Rob's got
Austin. I know where you're going with this.
Oh. I was early teal season down on the coast, man. It's tons of mosquitoes and tiptoeing around alligators.
Those goddamn mosquitoes down there. Holy shit, man. That was terrible.
Dude. I've never,
And I'll be honest, Jared, with that when we were there,
the Texas coast and Alaska are probably the worst mosquitoes.
We went on one. It wasn't even teal season. It was just big duck season, and we went on one that it was just.
That was last weekend. Yeah, that was the end of the season.
Oh my god!
No, this was a different.
Oh, that's that. Yeah,
I went on another. I was on another hunt where we had to walk out. And I swear to God, at one point I was like, I'm fucking done here. I can't. I'm eating them. I can't fucking. I'm just walking and just eating. They're all over me. And it's just. It was horrible. They just mowed the marsh, so just freaking clouds of them. Just and the amount of them that were on the tailgate, like you just out. It was billions of them.
Yep. That was I was about to say that one of the other hunts I was on. It was the one before the other guys came down when we got there super late. And Andrew slept in the front seat of my truck, and I laid down in the back seat, and we slept for an hour before hunt.
It went south.
Everything went sideways. When we woke up, we're looking out the windows. Man, the windows looked tinted, with like legitimately covered. So that's what I was saying. When we were there for the last hunt with all of us, there were some mosquitoes.
It wasn't
but it wasn't like that. It was the worst
unnecessary amount of mosquitoes.
We rolled out one time, and before we got out of the boat, we saw 15 alligators from the boat ramp to the place where we get out. And that was just ones we saw on top of the water. And there was one hunt we hunted that we didn't have any in our little unit, but there was one unit where this guy and his buddy and his girlfriend were hunting together, and they shot a couple ducks, and some other ducks were working in, and then this gator started eating the ducks that had landed. And so they were like, okay, just let it go. He got a couple ducks. He'll be fine. He was just going to go. That gator just hung there, and then they just sat there for a while, and then they finally were like, let's just get our decoys and get the hell out of here. This is no fun. And that girl went out and was trying to get decoys, and that gator came after her a little bit, and she was like, ah, they were like, get away, and it kind of spun off and went away, but it was still in the little pond there, and they called the game warden, and the game warden came out. It was a 10-foot alligator. They had to get a backhoe to get it out of there, and they were like, this bitch has been causing problems for a while now. Like it was time. This one had to go.
I want to get an alligator so bad.
Yeah, they still got some at Wade's place if y'all want to do it.
I got.
Yeah, I'll give you.
I got everything we need. Like I've got a boat down here that we can run. I mean, obviously we can do with Austin's. The head is in the shop.
Rare. Oh my god!
I'm sorry, but I had to.
The head is in the shop.
Shots fired.
And now a commercial break.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I
have a boat. I just don't have it in my proximity.
I just don't have a working boat.
It's been in the shop since January.
Exactly. You don't. I mean, you said to me the other day, I think he stole my boat and sold it. I mean,
it's Schroeder. I did tell you I reached out to him.
Boat.
I did tell you I reached out to him this week, right? And the head is finally in the shop, and I think that this is going to be an end in sight. I think I'm going to get my boat back just in time for it to turn on when the wind starts to lay down here, and I'll be able to get in the marsh and fish a bunch. So Nate, I've got exactly Austin's boat, but I've got a casting and a poling platform on it. And so,
Oh, nice.
So we can throw gators up on the front of that thing, and I want to try to get it rigged up for this fall, this like winter when the flounder run hits to flounder gate.
Yeah, that'd be killer.
I think you meant to say we can fuck around and find out.
Totally, yeah. Did you look that up in your thesaurus?
No, I was actually just looking at pictures of when I used to.
That was Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
Let's see, what is word of the day?
I love Urban Dictionary.
Word of the day.
Oh my god.
They're always
Today's word of the day.
Okay, y'all were talking about Gar a second ago. And that's what I was about to say, which wasn't relevant at the time, but we had a pause. I live right off Lake Grapevine in South Park, and I'm ignoring him. I don't care. So Denton Creek runs up it, and right now it's full of gar, and they're just rolling constantly. How do I catch one of those gar on traditional tackle? Because I've caught them on like octopus hook with cut bait. When it's shallow, they can smell it. But this, I mean, the creek channel in there can be like 10 to 15 feet.
A white or like a pearl-colored chatterbait, or like an all-white swim bait with a good big hook in it. But that's like on the Colorado River. We catch them when I've got guys that are fishing conventional gear. They'll catch them quite a bit on like a 5-inch Kitech swim bait and like a pearl white. Yeah, something to catch their attention, I mean, you can throw smaller stuff at them, but, something white or something flashy.
Okay.
Another trick is a lot of people pause it like right before they think they're going to eat it. And with the gar, a lot of times, if you just keep it moving, they're going to attack it. When you slow it down, they'll kind of shy off of it a lot of times.
Nathan, I love you.
Yeah, I'd give like a big flashy chatterbait or like a big, white or pearl swim bait or something.
I got to take off, Nate. Yeah, I got to take off.
Okay,
Nate,
I can do that.
I miss you, dude.
Jared, you
we'll
got
get together
go?
soon. Abe, I
miss
miss
you
you too.
bud.
You're down there. I'll see you soon. Austin and Jordan, hug each other for me.
Hi, Jared. Yeah.
Done.
So, all right, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I've only caught them on cut bait, like floating bobbers, when I kind of sight fishing them, like flipping on cut baits so I could smell it. And so I wasn't sure when they're just rolling in a deep
big
channel.
bait fish pattern, I wouldn't throw anything too expensive. They're pretty good at, breaking leader.
Yeah.
So, you can do like, especially if they're big gar, you can, do like your 20 or 30 pound shock leader and then tie in like a 6-inch piece of like single strand, like piano wire, like kingfish leader. And you don't need, 40, 50 pound. And then just put like a little snap swivel on the end of that so you can just change your lures out. But that's a good, like, kind of, easy way to not break off a bunch of them.
That's pro move. Pro move.
Noted.
You heard it here.
I'm gonna go kill
They're
my
fun.
turkey
I mean,
catching
my buddy
gar.
Danny and Wade, they've been going out chasing big alligator, and Wade just caught like a 55-inch long-nosed gar the other day.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're. I mean, like I said, I've caught them before. I just wasn't sure I'd catch them in this situation.
Oh, yeah.
They're
If you want to
great,
take the
and they
time
eat
to
really
clean
good,
one,
too.
yeah. Yeah.
I just split it and take those back straps, and you poach them in butter. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Some 10 steps, man, makes quick work of it.
Yeah, that's. Oh, I mean,
Abe.
that was BTK's call, not mine. So
Ibrahim.
I didn't want to.
Would y'all have a big one? Y'all let one go or something?
They had
Yeah, we
big
just
one.
were like, ridiculous. They're insane. Those animals are crazy. How
Yeah,
they'll
they're
live
awesome.
through anything. But yeah, we caught one because we pulled up and we were like, oh, cool. There's got to be a redfish right in here, and there was a bunch of bait rolling in, and so we, threw it out there. Shrimp under a popping cork or on a chatterweight. No, we were fishing croaker on a chatterweight, and just boom, hit it, and it was like, oh, this is a redfish. This is good. And like fought. fought, and then got it close to the boat, and then it just splat. We're like, oh, it sucks because we were disappointed because we were trying to catch some redfish, but it was like, oh, it's a gar. And then it ran twice more. Then it tail walked a little bit, and they're fun, they're awesome, But it was we finally got it in the boat, and we're like, all right, that's about a 3.5 foot, almost 4 foot gar. Like he was like, do you want to keep this? I'm like, I have no interest in cleaning that thing. He was like, cool, I'm sending this thing back. So
yeah,
but. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It is.
Yeah, on a Tuesday. I was like, nah, I'm good. So out here double sheeped up on Thursday. What is the biggest fish you've ever caught, like species wise? On a fly rod.
Man,
on a fly rod. Let's say that. Have you caught like a big shark on a fly rod?
No, not a big shark. My biggest shark is probably 3 feet. Just
like a bonnet head
big.
or something.
I'd love to get like go chase them behind the shrimp boats and stuff, and go target big sharks. No, I mean, probably. I didn't get a weigh on it, but a couple tarpon we've caught off the jetties. 4.5 foot.
Dude.
But.
So you're just fishing those up here in Texas, right? You're fishing tarpon.
Yeah, down south.
August or whatever.
Well, I mean, really, May through November is just all depends on water temperature and their migrations is when you can target them. Probably that tarpon. I mean, some of these tuna, we're pushing 60, 65 pounds.
That's a big ass fish.
Yeah. I mean, we hooked. I mean, some of the ones we hooked were in the 100+ pound range, but just didn't have the gear to slow them down.
Yeah. I mean, it's real hard to. That's a fucking missile.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's
at that big.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
unbelievable.
I love sight fishing redfish, and I love bass fishing here in the hill country, but the offshore fly fish, like getting to cast at that size fish and that powerful of a fish is really, really awesome.
Yeah.
We even I didn't have any hookups, but we got a couple shots at striped marlin this last trip while we were down there too, and it was essentially just going to be like hook it and break the rod kind of thing,
Snap. Yeah.
I think one of the fish we cast at was, probably 7.5, 8 feet long, this monster. It was really, really cool. So next time we go down, I'm gonna be more prepared with some heavier gear, and we're really gonna try and target some of that stuff. I haven't gotten a billfish yet on the fly rod, so that's kind of on the list of something to do. And
on the fly rod, that's got to be insane. I mean, they're crazy to catch on a regular ass rod, let alone a fly rod. I mean, you're just. The drag on that thing has just got to be crazy. I mean,
well, some of the reels now that I'm using, they're fly reels, but they're pushing 22, 24 pounds of drag.
Yeah.
So it's pretty close to some of that conventional gear that guys are fishing. Now some of the spinning reels have almost 50 pounds of drag.
Yeah.
So, but you don't want that heavy drag is you're gonna end up breaking a lot of rods and breaking leader and stuff. Having it, I usually keep them set around like 12-ish pounds of drag for when they hit, and then as the fight goes on, I'll kind of tighten it as needed.
Kind of tighten as it goes. Yeah, as Austin can attest to, I'm like you. He got in the boat the other day and was just like, Jesus Christ, you got the fucking drag on this thing all the way down,
You got them locked.
Yeah, it's just like locked. Yeah. This is.
Oh, it was.
It
wasn't drag. Like it was just you. It was a.
I had the safety on that rod
tied to the rod.
It just
like
forcing them in.
Yeah, just you ain't running from me, bro.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, if you're bass fishing, that's fair.
Yeah,
just yank them out of the marsh. That's cool. It don't work like that in the ocean because you have no idea what's on the other end.
That is one thing that I've learned down here a bunch is just to loosen, keep keep that drag, mess with that a little bit, and I have gotten, I moved up to I have like a 5,000 class spinning rod, and I got the old beef stick, from big old beef stick rod to catch some bigger fish on, and so it's been fun fishing off the bottom for black drum. We caught.
Oh man, yeah,
black drum.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, we had some phenomenal big
So
black
fun.
drum, and we went over to Louisiana and fished around Hopedale area, and I think we put 3 or 4 in the boat over 40 inches on the fly, and it was killer.
I'll say this: you're on the list of names. We haven't talked to you about it yet, but that's kind of what we're doing here. Is we have you on the list of names for us to go. Have you ever heard of the Nutra Rodeo in Venice?
I've heard about it, but I've never looked much into it. I'm guessing it's a shoot as many nutria wrap tournament as you can kind of deal.
It's a big team event you can do. So So we have a potential airboat lined up. We're gonna drag Austin and I's boats down there to run support boats.
No. We're entering 3
Oh,
boats.
yeah.
It's like $30 a boat. There's no chance I'm dragging my boat to Louisiana and not firing guns off that thing while I'm drinking.
Like
There's no
suppressed
chance
thermal
that doesn't
ARs.
happen.
Yeah.
So continue.
It's an American.
My bad.
Damn it.
You sound like a
My
communist right
Yeah.
now. How dare you?
Right?
So
How
are guys just shooting 22s, or what are they shooting them with?
No,
It's
suppressed
like
ARs and
Yeah.
shotguns. Yeah.
ARs and shotguns. So we're going to run.
Yeah.
All
We're going
right.
to run suppressed
So
ARs and
we're-
thermals.
We've got Sean Polk from Sean.
just-
So he's gonna come down. He's gonna come. We're just gonna get a big Airbnb, and it's.
Yeah.
I mean, we looked up some Airbnbs that are just like in the parking lots of just some shit ass bars that are like.
Oh, dude, there's some killer stuff
magic.
around Hopedale. We
magic.
found some pretty nice Airbnbs. One's like a beach house that sleeps 10 people.
Yeah.
It's like $250 a night and has 3 boat slips in the back.
This is, yeah. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Dude, it has its own
No,
boat ramp.
we
You don't have to drive down the
far
road.
off.
Use the public
Oh,
boat ramp. You
God.
literally just we just launch all the boats right there, park them in the slips, and then fish for a couple days. It's phenomenal, man.
Yeah. And in fairness, I will defend my
that's
my
awesome.
my communist comments that I was called out for. Is the fact is that the point of running the airboat was that was the team boat to go run around the marsh and go shoot.
Dude, y'all's duck boats would do fine there, though, man.
No, I know, but we can use the airboat, run around and shoot things off the airboat, but we can also go fish off of our boats. So we're like, oh, hey, it's your shift. You got to go shoot it off the airboat. Or we can just, use them all. I don't care. I mean, who gives a
Use
shit?
them all.
But they have
And that's so we're not calling it support boats. We're just
Sure.
going to enter 3 boats
Exactly.
and do whatever we want like we do at everything.
So
We're just going to show up and do whatever we want. Nate, if you start looking at videos
I'll check it out.
yeah.
It's you should. It's a tournament and there's cash prizes and all that, but more it's like, all right, let's get drunk for a couple days and shoot these rat things that are tearing things up, and then let's all go get drunk some more together and eat some of these and throw them.
Yeah, in case you need more convincing, there is a how far can you throw this thing
Cash
contest
prizes.
as
Yeah.
well.
With
So,
cash prizes.
cash
It's
prize,
just
right.
real hard red.
For those of you
great.
who may be listening
yeah,
to this
man.
going, oh my
No,
God, that's
let's
such
do
a
this.
senseless act. All of the Nutra rats that are killed, like Austin said, they're fucking destructive. They're tearing the shit out of the marsh. Okay, so that's enough of a reason. But secondarily, every piece of meat that comes off of those things is either put into a gumbo to eat. They serve a big gumbo, or it all gets donated to zoos to feed animals. So it's not a wasteless. It's not a senseless just thing. They actually do something with this stuff too. So it's. I mean, who cares?
Even if it was.
But there is a positive to it. Yeah.
It's like shooting pigs.
Shoot the pig.
Just shoot pigs. You should eat some pigs.
Yeah, you gotta
Let's
eat
just
'em.
shoot all the pigs you can.
So we all should
Exactly.
get together and make sure
What-
February, like the end of February.
The end of February,
End
okay.
of February is when this thing is. So
It's a good time. Just
Yeah.
kind of right before turkey season. We've wrapped up duck season. We've wrapped up
Mhm.
MLD
Yeah.
rifle.
let's go.
So everything's
That's
kind of
good
like,
redfish
all right,
fishing during
all right.
February there too. So
Cool.
and
I will
dude,
set aside multiple days for this. On like a
one of
day
the
or two
coolest-
on one
yeah.
side and a day or two
one
on
of the coolest
other.
parts
I'm
about
not scared.
Louisiana too is the sheep head. They have massive sheep head that tail on the flats like redfish do. And dude, like we'd get back to the boat ramp after a day, and there'd be like some old Louisiana bubbas like pull up in their John boat, and they would have the whole entire front of the cockpit would be just a pile of sheep head.
I mean, that's one
That's
that
good.
we haven't. I don't think we caught a sheep's head the other day,
Oh,
did we? No, we caught just all those puppy drum. That's all we caught.
No.
Oh, y'all got a bunch of little black drum.
Yeah.
Reds and blacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reds and blacks. That
Reds
was
and
it. Yeah,
blacks.
we were trying to catch them.
I want to catch a black tip reef shark real
A
bad
black
this
tip?
summer. Real bad.
I mean,
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
fun.
Apparently, it's
Yeah,
just
you
the
want that,
water's got
that
to
hot
get real
summer
warm,
water.
right? Yeah, so
Mhm.
like I'll
Yeah,
get into August, and it's
84
nasty,
degree
and we'll
water.
Go out to that oil
Yeah.
rig.
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll run out there.
Yep.
I mean, as long as the wind is
Oh,
not
that's
up,
fine.
we can run that. We can run that boat. I've got to drop it. I'm dropping the big boat off when we go to Idaho to get that.
What is that big boat that you got? What is that?
A 23-foot Nautic Star. It's a hybrid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Badass,
so-
man.
Yeah, so it's got a 250 SHO on it.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
it'll fly. It's
Yeah, it'll get the
handle
job
itself.
done.
Yeah, it'll go.
Yeah.
It's got a 73-gallon fuel tank, but I need to get. I'm gonna have them set up like all the. I need them to have 73
It's
gallons.
70.
So it's like $400 to fill it up.
I'm not like it is fucking ridiculous.
Because like truck tanks like 20. It's 3 truck tanks.
You've done this once already, and I showed you the Nautic Star. Yeah, it's insane.
It's just such a. I'm just.
I had
lot of
I
It's
had
a
gas.
different
quarter
day.
of a
Leave 'em
tank
alone.
Of gas.
I have a lot
dare
of
you.
questions. First, how dare
Like
you?
it is $200 to fill that thing up, and that was with a quarter of it. It was just I was like, oh my god! Every
gosh.
time I go, I'm just like, oh,
If I would have remembered that, I would have convinced you so much harder. Like you had what 3/4 of a tank,
Yeah.
and you were worried about running to a 10-mile oil rig. I'm like, bro, we're good. But if I would have remembered it was 73, it would have been like, just
we ran
ship
20
it. Like,
miles.
you've got
from
gas
It's
for
20
days.
miles from my house to the end of the jetties, and then we ran 9 miles further than that, and then back,
Yeah.
and I used a quarter of a tank of gas.
Yeah.
And
Hey, you
so-
ran 58 miles on a quarter tank.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we were fishing one spot where we just anchored up and then turned the motor on and just let the motor run to keep us in position because I don't have a trolling motor on it. So it just
Yeah.
sat there and ran for 3 hours, like just sitting there running, and still all of that was still just a quarter of a tank. So I want to get the burn rate on that. I need to figure out the burn rate on that motor so I can know, like, okay, how much, like,
Right. Yeah.
how far can I go out and come back? So because I found a couple good websites that have some like the location for like reefs and some underwater
Yeah, there's
stuff,
some
like
good-
a bunch
yeah.
of. So I'm the
Some
wind's kind
fads
of crazy
is
right
what
now.
that's called.
What's that?
A fad. FAD. Yeah, that's what they call like a artificial reef and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If you
Where
look on a
cut
chart.
they've cut the oil rigs like down and they're just underneath there.
Yeah, or
just-
concrete rubble
Yeah.
or old
Yeah.
old train cars. Or like outside of Port Aransas, there's a spot they call the parking lot because they dumped a bunch of old cars out there a long time ago. When you look at it on your down scan, you can see the cars sitting on the bottom, so it looks like a parking lot down there.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm
That's
I'm
cool.
real interested in going offshore. I mean, it's been I still haven't really gotten to. I haven't done much with my fly rod. I haven't even done much with like artificial lures. I've just been like, let's hook up some shrimp and let's go catch fish.
Yeah,
So
just been bait fishing.
yeah, bait fishing, just roughnecking it. So I just built a big bait pen.
Oh,
For my
put it
dock.
up. Yeah.
So I'm right on the
Oh,
water here. So
are you in Kima or?
no, I'm on Tiki Island.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
badass. Cool,
So,
man.
yeah, so I'm here. So I built like I'm on a canal here. So I just built a big bait pen out of hula hoops and a bunch of mesh netting, and I'm just waiting for the sand trout to get into the canals. And it gets to the point where you're just like, this is stupid. I'm done with this. Like,
Yeah.
we
Oh,
caught
just hundreds
40.
and hundreds.
Yeah, we're just like,
Yeah.
I've caught 40 in 2 hours. I'm done. Like, I'm tired of this. Like
Yeah.
we're finished here. So
It's like the white bass run when it's really good.
exactly, you're just like, okay, we're done here. But shark bait, supposedly they're pretty good for shark bait. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
They're not bad eating too if you get some decent sized ones.
Like sand trout.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've not caught very many decent sized sand trout. I've caught some decent sized, speckled trout, but
Right. Yeah.
not the sand trout. So,
Yeah.
I'll have to if I can hook one of those big bastards, I'll cut them up and put them on a taco.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of, it's like cleaning bluegill or something, but you get 20 sand trout and fillet them out. You've got enough to make 10 tacos.
10 fish nuggets. Yeah. Yeah. That is one thing that has become a much more consumed thing is seafood down here. So,
Oh yeah, you have to.
yeah.
No.
No, there's nothing wrong
I
with that.
wanted
definitely one
crawfish
thing.
today, but I'm going to the turkey woods this weekend, and so I was like, I'm not going to eat
Nice.
crawfish before going and camping for 3 days, 2 days.
Where are y'all going turkey hunting?
Louisiana. It's
Oh, cool.
so my brother is just eaten up with turkeys. It's just eaten up with turkeys.
Let him
He
explain.
he loves them, and so he's hunted his ass off for turkeys. He still hasn't killed one. I feel so bad for the dude. He's fucking he is
Yeah,
killed
he's put
himself
in
trying
work.
to kill
He
turkeys.
has absolutely.
He's hunted in I think 4 different states, 3 different
Oh,
states for
shit.
turkeys, and they elude him.
Yeah.
So he's the last couple of years he's tried to put together. He's done this little turkey camp over in Louisiana, and so we go, and it's such to me. It's such turkeys are not something that I care to chase. I'll go kill one, but I don't have no interest in like, all right, let's go. Like I don't get up for this at all. Like I'm just like, this is, whatever. But he's gotten like a bunch of his kids, like dads, like through school. So there's like 11 people going to be here. And oh, Jesus Christ.
Told me
How big
50
is the
other
place
night.
y'all are hunting?
Oh, it's like 40,000 acres. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Massive
Sounds
piece
like-
of public land. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I was like, okay, so it's, I don't have kids, but so he's like, oh, dude, you can't not come. You have to come. I need you there to help with like being there. I was like, well, cool, dude. I'm going to roll around, I'm going to go shoot guns. Like I could care less about a turkey. So, we're just going to go shoot guns and we're going to go turkey hunt, which means drive around roads and see if we can't get one off the road, like jump out of the truck and try to squirrel around to find, get one, try to make a stock on one. But
Yeah.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not a kid guy, and there's going to be what sounds like maybe 15 kids there, which just is, and it's going to rain.
You sound really
He was trying to
excited
get
about
me
it.
to come, and I was like, "There's nothing."
Yeah.
That is excited.
I mean, I love
There's nothing.
I love
he can
hanging
do
out
to
with my
convince
brother. I
me.
can't wait.
He asked me
And
to get
I know a couple of his buddies that are going to be there, and they're fucking awesome. I love them. I love it. So, and it's just to me, it's one of those things that's like, this is your thing. I'm going to go do it. You know. But I told him, I was like, I swear to you, James, if I had my boat right now, I would take my boat, and when you wake up and go turkey hunt, I would go down to the Sabine, and I would go fucking try to catch white bass. I would spend all day on the river trying to catch fish. I could give two shits about turkey, bro. And Austin, I hope that you need to put some effort into killing that turkey just to rub salt in his wound.
Oh, I told him the other night when I talked to him, I was like, I really hoped. So Nate, me and Buddy were out running up creek over here chasing sand bass the other morning. We come around this bend to this big sandbar, and there's a turkey standing there. Jake, like one, I mean, it wasn't anything interesting, but I would have been fine with shooting it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, drop a pin. And so a couple nights later, I go back. I was like, I'm gonna go roost this thing and see where he's sitting. And I come run. It's a 20-minute run. Running. It's up the creek. And I get up there, and there's 10 kids standing on this sandbar, just playing in the creek. So I'm like, this turkey is not in this county anymore. But I went and climbed up the bank and hiked a couple miles around until dusk and crow called.
Location.
Couldn't locate anything, but
no,
nothing. But I'm kind of like, all right, I have at least, kind of like Abe said, I'm not going to go out blind. Like, you know what? Let's just go turkey hunting. Not going to happen. If I see some or can get some gobbles or something to go with a mission, I'm in. But I will not put that much
not
effort
that mad at
him. It's just not my deal.
No.
But I run across one running the boat up the creek.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll go back there and try to find that
one.
Like
I said, if they'll play ball and and I can get them to gobble, then cool. I enjoy that. That's a lot of fun. But going to fucking try to run down eastern turkeys on public land the last weekend of turkey season, this is fucking
They don't
dumb.
talk.
It's like, this is like, okay, like, all right. I mean, I'm enjoying it because I get to go out and camp. I get to hang with my brother, but it's like, nah, bro. Like, I'm using this as a mission to go shoot because I can go shoot distance with the 6.5 to get ready for bow camp. That's what this weekend is. And so now everybody's bringing guns, and it's like, okay, cool. So that's what this is going to turn into in the afternoon. So we'll see.
So there's not going to be a turkey for like 2 miles around y'all after.
No, not at all. There ain't any turkeys there. There are turkeys, but it's just he's like, and he gets oh my god, he gets so excited because I talked to him today, apparently. And he's just like, oh dude, it's going to rain tomorrow and Friday. So they'll be out Saturday. I'm like, the fuck, the sunny disposition on your ass, dude. Like, you ain't gonna see shit.
He hadn't given up yet.
Oh no, he will never give up. I'll tell you the one thing that he won't do. He won't give up. Death is his give up to killing a turkey.
Does he put in for any of the turkey draw hunt?
Oh, yeah.
And he needs to come up and hunt Rob's place. There's turkeys everywhere.
I told him if he.
Abe has all the luck from that family. Abe's always catching big fish and winning raffles.
He shot an
elk.
elk.
And it's true.
Colorado just released moose and I think sheep draw results. So I think Colorado's about to drop it. I know New Mexico dropped it today. So we'll hopefully know if I drew a. Like, this is one of the first times I've ever been like, please, God, don't draw a fucking mule deer tag. Please, God, don't draw a mule deer tag. I've got like 3 points in a unit in Colorado that, and for deer. And I'm like, I want to draw an elk tag this year, not a mule deer tag. And I put in for it, I was just like, fuck, I should have put in for another unit. And
Huh.
It
sounds like you didn't think through your draw plans.
No.
Nate, last year he was like, draw hunts are out, and he goes and bangs out all these draw hunt entries, and then we all are like, all right, so what are we party tagging? And he's like, well, I already entered. Like, what? Settle down, Sparky.
I'll tell you what happened.
What happened?
I'll tell you what happened. For years, Nate,
he gets
years, I have put in and tried to get these mutants to put in with me. You put in, and you put in for your gator tags, and you put in. We put in for our duck tags together a lot of times, but all the rest of it, I get Jordan to put in for an oddad tag with me every now and then, and the rest of it I have to I'm like, oh, come on, let's do it, and then it's like a week and a half before, and I'm like, I'm putting in for this shit. Then last year, the first year, they're like, oh, dude, what do you mean you've already put in for this?
That's not true.
That's what I'm saying.
We did it all together.
Last year was the first year.
Yeah, we did.
The first year,
and the year before, I'm saying no, absolutely not. The year before, we all did it together because we built a spreadsheet both years.
And before you could put in for the draws, we all talked about it all together as a group, and we're like, so we need to make a plan to get together so we can put all the everyone needs to tell what we want to all get together and do, and then we can all do our other draws.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I
got to take care of number one. I got to take care of me.
So here's what you need. Here's what you need to take from the situation. Here's what you need to take from this situation, Abe.
Fuck you.
No. When you're bear hunting, you need to shoot. When you're putting in for tags, you don't need to be so damn trigger happy. Like, wait for your friends. But when you bear hunt, you should actually shoot a bear.
Yeah,
I've been trying to get the two of you to put in for fucking.
You're not shooting bear.
You don't know you're
been trying to get
let me know next time, Abe. I'll jump in on a elk tag with you.
Let's go. I've been trying to get these two to put in for elk tags for 4 years now, and they ain't got it. They ain't got an elk point to rub between the two of them. Where?
I have some. A couple, one or two, I think.
Don't you, of course, me.
I swear I put in for Colorado before.
No,
I just got out. Like, I had other goals I wanted to accomplish first. And I know it's a game, and I know that I'm not doing it correctly. I get it. But
you're going to kill one
I'll kill
next year.
Okay, why are you talking to me like this in front of
next year? I will draw that mule. If I don't, if the universe plays ball here, I won't draw the mule deer tag this year. I'll draw the elk tag this year. I'll draw the mule deer tag next year, which is concurrent with second rifle, which is over the counter for elk, which means we can go up. I can hunt mule deer, you can hunt elk, and we can go kill things.
See, you two are a team.
So why will
good plan? That's a good plan. I like.
But I want to go to Mexico to duck hunt, and everyone said no to that, and I don't throw a fit like you just did.
I don't take no for an answer like you.
No means no.
That's the best argument you got here.
No, it's not.
Man,
I want to go to Mexico and kill ducks too, bro. But I want to kill a big mule deer, and I want to kill a big elk or just an elk. I don't care about it, big mule deer, or I don't care about a big elk. I want to kill a legal elk, and I want to kill a decent sized mule deer.
What
of course
are you saying now?
You're babbling now. Are you babbling?
I do.
You want to do that before you go to Mexico to kill ducks? I'm not waiting a decade. Like, and I'm not trying to.
James and I are
I'm not
3 years
super
into
trying
it,
to be.
We've
a
already
dick
got
here.
one down.
It's just. But there's a mule deer involved, so add another 4 or 5 for that.
Every time we're up there, we've
1 and 3. Add another 3.
Carry the 1.
You square it. I don't.
See big ass mule deer because you're not
hunting. You've been up there too.
True.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, this guy, somebody who understands. Another astute gentleman.
When me and Austin ran around New Mexico,
chasing elk,
we had a big ass 6x. It was a 6x6, wasn't it? Stand up like literally 80 yards in front of us,
if that,
with a 308 rifle in his hand, and we had a cow tag.
Yeah, man.
And guess what? We didn't see that year. A cow.
And that's me. And we
had a shot on
we had
the
a 30-second standoff with that elk. Like
then he got like a little upset at us, kind of snorted at us, trotted down the side of the mountain a little bit, then turned around at what, like maybe 150 yards, and then like stood broadside for a while, just staring back at us. And I had time to like take my camera out and take pictures of him, and like we weren't being cautious because fuck it, who cares, right? And but that's called hunting. Mm-hmm. That's hunting in a nutshell. Like you're gonna see everything that you can't shoot and nothing.
It's like after you shoot your two redheads, and then the whole rest of the day, redheads decoy all day long.
That's all that just dives in.
Oh yeah, like
that's the one duck I haven't shot down here. It's a redhead.
How have you not? You literally live in like the redhead capital of the world.
I didn't see a single redhead this year.
You need to go hunt down by like Seadrift and Port O'Connor and Rockport. They're everywhere down there.
Yeah, I'm hunting up this way. We saw a bunch of ducks. We killed a bunch of ducks, but we just didn't.
I didn't.
They tore it up this year.
I had a pretty good duck season. That closing weekend, we went up to. Do y'all know Jake and Wes's buddy Evan?
Yeah,
that's a friend of ours here in Austin. His family has property up in Corsicana. And we went up there and hunted all the ponds they have back in the woods. And, dude, it was awesome. It was the best closing weekend I've had in a while. I mean, it was ducks every day. And as many wood – you could limit out on wood ducks if you played it right. Like, it was awesome.
That sounds
And I shot a really nice Drake wood duck closing day, last, 30 minutes of the hunt, and shot this really nice drake that I've got at the taxidermist right now.
That's on the bucket. That's I want to shoot a big one. I want to shoot a nice drake wood duck and a widgeon
cotton top. Yeah. I've got that. I got that Drake wood duck, and then I've got a mottled duck hybrid that I shot that I got to go drop off at the taxidermist.
Yeah.
I'd like to get modeled
down south on the coast, man, especially like south of Corpus, around Port Mansfield. What's that other little town down there? We stayed down there when we hunted Laguna Descalza. It's right there on the Colorado Rio, or what is it? Arroyo, Colorado, down there, down south. Down past Raymondville. I can't remember the name, but mottled ducks everywhere. I mean, literally every cove you pulled back into to fish had 5 or 6 mottled ducks back in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that during duck season though? Wow. All right. Because like there's a whole pile of blue.
Oh yeah, just phenomenal looking birds. Yeah.
Oh.
Right now, when I'm trying to get sand bass and
turkey,
like, hey man.
We were fixing the Colorado the other day was just loaded with ducks.
It's the way it be. It's the way it be.
Always.
We'll see how it goes.
Always.
So what's this upcoming season?
We got finish off turkey here. We're heading up to Rob's ranch. Not this weekend, but next weekend. We're gonna go up and hunt. I missed one 2 weekends ago. Took a 40-yard shot at one with the bow, and missed. I was off by like 2 inches to the right. I got a little impatient. Should have let him come in closer, but 40 yards, isn't too long of a poke. But not sure what happened. Just made a bad shot, I guess, but I guess it was a clean miss. But we got turkey, and then a lot of hog hunting this summer. We are covered up in hogs up there right now. I've got a couple cameras down by my ladder stand, down in this bottom at the base of this hill, this old dry creek bed. I think the other night we counted like 27 pigs on one camera.
Oh God. Yeah, it's time for some thinning.
Yeah. Well, unless the ranch owner gave us permission for night hunting now, So we're going to set up some of those slow glow lights
Yeah.
at a few spots and be able to go pop them. And
Yep.
eventually I'll get a thermal for the AR-10. And I was going to get a suppressor for that in my 308, but my dog had to have knee surgery, so there went all the suppressor money.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No doubt.
And I'm in Abe's situation as well. My boat's in the shop, and it's been there for a little while, so
Just waiting for that bill to come.
yeah.
He told me how. Yeah.
What's wrong with yours?
Nothing happened to it. I bought a used Panga during the pandemic, and it's been slowly rebuilding it. And we finally got all the glasswork done and repainted, and so now it just needs to be completely reassembled and all the wiring run.
Yeah.
But it'll be a sweet little boat when it's done. It's a 18-foot center console Pango with a tunnel hole, and it's got a 70, the old lunchbox style 72-stroke Yamaha with a jack plate polling platform. Yeah, it's going to be a sweet little boat, man. You know, take it, run outside the jetties with it, but it'll pole in like 6 inches of water, so it'll be a good flat boat and a good, you know,
That's
calm
cool.
day outside the jetty boat chasing tarpon and kingfish and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, Abe's. You know, he mentioned his head. I don't know what happened. It
Oh
just
shit, really?
popped a hole in the head in one of the heads one day.
Some of the internal
They got
parts
tired
of
of
the
being
engine
on the
decided to be on the
inside.
outside.
Exactly.
They just need a little
They
bit
want
of
to see what the
sunshine.
outside looked like.
Yeah. It was an unscheduled disassembly.
Yeah, it was like
Yep.
Andy from Shawshank, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that's.
Want to be on the inside.
I had a little bit of engine trouble.
Bored a
Well,
hole
not a
through
little
it.
bit. We had to rebuild the whole head on this boat that I bought. The guy had, when I bought it and went and looked at it, everything seemed good. You know, it's part of buying a used boat, but he had rigged it to where it was running decent, and then
Sure.
we get it, you know, back to the house and start working on it and take it apart and go put it on the lake and, you know, just test running it, and like I was running like super low compression in one of the cylinders, and luckily a good buddy of mine that I fly fish with is a great mechanic and all around boat guy, and so he's got a shop at his place, and he's just been kind of helping me out with it. But we got the motor rebuilt, and he ran a whole tank of gas through it the other day, and it ran fine without any stalls or misfires or anything. So I think we got all those problems figured out.
Boat problems are,
It's good.
Bust out another
Always
1,000.
something.
dude. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
fun stuff. I mean, yeah.
I feel you on that.
I mean, so does.
Abe
I mean,
feels that.
your boat has been. I mean, I
burden.
hate to say that. Knock on wood, your boat's been the most reliable. I mean, Jordan and I are both dealing with it constantly. I feel like.
Yeah.
Now, when you
Saturn.
pull a boat from under a tree on
Yeah.
on a farm in east of Dallas, you know, like
Yeah.
that's sat
Nice.
there since 2004. You know, you're
Dude.
probably gonna have a few problems. I mean, that thing's still. I didn't even change the spark plugs. On that
That's
thing.
awesome.
It runs like a top. I set a bolt wiggle loose and on my
Uh-huh.
starter solenoid. The bolt fell on the positive side of that.
Oh, cool.
With a negative ground cable attached to it, is the ground for the motor. You know, it went direct ground, and luckily, all it did, it seems like, from all I can see, is it just burnt the wiring
Yeah.
harness up. So I'm in the middle of rebuilding my wiring harness.
Yeah,
Right now.
yeah. I'm
So
looking
fun
at
times.
getting a John boat for turning into a jet sled for on the river up here.
Oh, dude.
And my buddy's grandpa's got one. It's same kind of deal like you're talking. It's been sitting in a barn out by Bastrop for like probably 15 years.
Who knows? Yeah.
But it's a semi V 1652 all weld.
Oh, that'll be
And
nice.
it's got a 50 horse.
Okay.
I think it's a Johnson or a Mercury on the back of it. So I can throw, if I jet that, it'll drop it down to like a 30 horse, which is really all I need for around here. but I might try and swap it to like a 60 horse jet, like true jet, and have a little bit more power.
Yeah.
Shit, and get up that
Oh
road.
yeah, they're fun.
Jet boats are cool, man.
They are fun.
I'm yeah,
Totally.
I want my boat back so bad I can't even stand it. You know.
Yeah. Oh
I'll
yeah.
just have to-
Yeah, getting back, y'all were talking about hunting stuff with turkey season, pigs, all that, and then actually, we got all these aoudad too, man. And the ranchers gave us, the guys that own the property gave us permission. We're gonna do a couple guided aoudad hunts out there uh, for a pretty good deal. You know, they just want to get rid of them. These aren't like monster trophies like you get out in West Texas, but there's some big ones out there. There's a couple that are probably pushing 30. But my buddy Vic that runs the property, we're gonna do some aoudad hunts for like $1,500. So if you guys want to, or you know anybody wanting to get in on it, hit me up. We've got place for people to stay. We can do 2 hunters at a time, but we'll be doing some aoudad hunts throughout the summer when it's nice and hot.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect time to shoot
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then getting geared up. The
You have
summer
to do it.
axis rut, is about to kick off here in the hill country. So Rob and I, that's one of
That's
our
cool.
favorite things to chase.
That's
So we're getting ready to start hunting axis deer, and I've got a few really, really nice ones showing up on camera. I got a cool coal buck. He's probably 36-inch long main beams, but he has 0 caudals, so he looks just like a giant spike. He's got little tiny short brows, so he's on the hit list. And then I've got this little 30-acre spot that's my wife's family's old property, and it's down in Round Top, outside of like Brenham.
Yeah.
And I've been slowly working on it, clearing out some of the woods, making it a little more huntable, set some feeders up and some cameras just to kind of see what I got. And I've hunted it for 2 years now. I usually just shoot a doe during archery season. And then this last year, I finally had some like legal bucks show up on the property, which was pretty neat to see. Unfortunately, one of them the highway's only about 500 yards from where I'm hunting.
Oh yeah.
And I was driving in one morning last season, and one of the bucks is dead like 100 yards from the gate to the property. And so that was kind of a bummer. Not, seeing him just hit by a semi truck kind of deal,
Yeah.
But yeah, just doing that, and then be hunting up in Eden and probably get a couple invites back down south. Put in for the usual Texas draw stuff. I'm not doing anything out of state. Probably I might try and do some New Mexico stuff with a buddy of mine that's been going over there. He's been hunting turkeys in New Mexico quite a bit the last couple years. So I think it'd be fun I've never hunted them outside of Texas, so it'd be fun to go try and get one in another place. And
I've got a few spots I've got pins to that I've seen a bunch of turkey because I've done it a couple times.
of course, I could have shot a turkey 2 weekends ago, but I'm an idiot and always want to do it with my bow. So,
Yeah. I get that.
but I've gotten I think 5 now with the bow. It's fun. I don't know. It's just that it's kind of like the difference of fly fishing or throwing spinning rods or bait casters. It's just something different, and
It's always fun. It's just
it's always fun.
Yeah. Depends on which one you want to kind of go after.
Yeah. I'm really this coming up season too. I'm really, really working on. I want to get a nilgi with my trad bow now that I've shot a couple with the compound. We could have done it this 2 trips ago. We got to 26 yards on a bull, and my buddy that was with me, it was his first time getting to hunt them, and we had compounds, but we crept up in on this bull, and sometimes they'll get curious. So for how flighty they are, every now and then the bulls will get curious, and if they just see like a little bit of movement and they can't make it out, sometimes they'll come to you. And we were out hunting them on the flats, right on the edge of the bay down there, and so we're kind of hiding in the tall grass and crawling through the sand dunes, and we see this bull like down in this flat, and we creep up, and we got like 100 yards from him, and he must have seen one of our, kind of us like getting up on the hillside, and we duck down in the grass and kind of get ready, and our buddy Flip that was with us, he's one of the guides on my cousin's ranch. He's glassing him and hitting him with the rangefinder, and he's walking in on this flat, and we're up on this little grassy knob. And the next thing we know, he, instead of coming down the flat like we thought he was, he turns and comes over the hill we're sitting on. So like we're on the backside of this hill, and he crests the hill, and Flip ranges him, and it's 26 yards, but it's a full frontal shot, and Jordan had never gotten to shoot at one. So like he's kind of like, man, and I'm like, dude, just take the shot, like, because we're all sitting right there together, and I'm like whispering behind him. I'm sure it was annoying the shit out of him, but I'm like, just shoot, just shoot, just shoot, just repeatedly saying this. And he finally lets down, and the bull, sees the movement and kind of runs out, and it stops at like 45, 50-ish yards. And and so
Just
he's
begging for it.
And he shoots that Garmin rangefinder bow sight, so I mean he doesn't have to like pick up a range for, he picks it back up and clicks it on him, and it's like 47 yards or something, and he lets it rip. But that bull was so on key from seeing that movement and stuff. I mean, that arrow's maybe 5 yards from him, and it's a big animal. Until that nilgai like full matrix rolled his shoulder and ducked, and that arrow just went like 4 inches over the top of him.
Dude, all those things.
Yeah. Oh, they're so tuned into every little bit of movement, and But it was fun,
A tigers chase your ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When you're hunted by tigers, you're going to be on edge. But it was cool, and he ended up getting one a few days later, so it all worked out. But I mean, we'll probably get to go do some more nilgai hunts, and then I've been having fun spot and stalk javelina quite a bit, so I'm definitely going to do some more of that. I shot a nice javelina. We were actually just hanging out at camp at my cousin's place. They've got like a 3D bow range set up down there at the bunkhouse. We're over there just bullshitting, and one of the guys that works at the ranch, he's like, "Hey man, there's some javelina on the tree line," and so we crept over, and I ended up running out of cover, and we got a video of it. But there's a palm tree. It was like the last thing of cover, so I like creep up to this palm tree. Range of the javelina, it's like 63 yards, and I let one rip, and just perfect. I mean, it just stones him. He drops like right where he's standing, like doesn't run or anything.
Always nice when that happens with a bow,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh wow.
Especially after having to track a bull for almost a mile through the brush.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it is
there too.
Yeah. Luckily, the guys, they know all their roads really well. So, like the minute that bull took off, we hop in the Jeep, and he's like, "Oh, I bet he's going to run to this pond." And sure enough, 20 minutes later, we get over to this pond after looping around, and he's laid up in the brush right by the pond. So,
wow,
it's just it like the back of your hand.
Oh, those guys I'm getting to hunt with the guys that work down there for my cousin. It's been awesome the last couple of years. Like I've learned so much on spot and stalk hunting, and like working terrain. And I mean, these guys will, the only cover will be, deep sawgrass, or salt grass down there in the marsh, and they just lay down and belly crawl through the grass, and it might take them 40 minutes to cover 300 yards. But they'll do it, and then we're sitting there watching them through their binos, and they'll pop up at 50 yards from one and let an arrow rip. And it's super cool, like getting the experience of hunting with these guys. They've all hunted down that area for 20 plus years of their life, and they just know everything about it. And it's been really cool experience hunting with those guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, dude, we super appreciate you being on the podcast again. We need to all get together and hunt. We had such a good time fishing with you. It's been a couple of years now, but we need to get together and let's do some fishing or some hunting or something soon.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, as soon as Jack's all healed up, man, I'll be good to go. But probably July is when I'll be free of.
Yeah.
He's got to be on a leash if he's out of the kennel and stuff right now, and yeah,
Run around.
That's fun stuff.
Yep.
yeah. And then we're gonna have to go through like a whole refresher course on hunting drills because he's out of it for quite a while.
Yeah.
He did really good though, man. We took him. I know we're getting off, but
Cool.
for new pup, man, I'm super impressed with him. He's a great dog. We went down for open and dove season down South Texas, and between him and one other dog, they retrieved like 290 something birds in 4 days of dove hunting.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a great guy,
awesome.
man.
That's
Well, guys, it was awesome.
I need to hit you up about that because I've got a new yellow lab that
I've got the spot down south. If y'all want to go for open in South Texas dove season, a couple of buddies of mine have been going to the same place for like 15 years. It's like $150 a gun, and you can hunt all day. You can shoot your limit of doves, go grab lunch, and then come back and shoot feral pigeons and collared dove the whole rest of the day if you want. Yeah, it's fun, and it's right on the Rio Grande River on the border. It's phenomenal. It's like a 2,000-acre sunflower farm.
Holy shit.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then it's a 30-minute drive to go launch the boat in the Arroyo, Colorado, and go catch redfish. So it's badass, man.
Oh my God! Stop twisting my arm.
That sounds
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so bad. I have
We'll
to go.
definitely game plan for that for sure. So
let's definitely link up and get some stuff together. And
absolutely.
I'd love to jump on. You let me know what to do for getting on one of those elk hunts, man, and I'll definitely.
Well, I
be
mean,
in
like,
on one.
the thing to do is just get. We hunt at 12,000 feet, so that's the kicker.
Yeah.
But and if you're going to go over the counter, get some cold weather gear because it's going to snow. So that was the hardest part about the whole thing was just getting used to that. So
well, maybe one day we'll have to get me and you'll link up and you can run me through the whole putting in for points and tag system and all that stuff.
Yeah, we can talk that through because it's not too terribly bad in Colorado to put in because you can.
Yeah,
it's like $80. So it's not horrible where you're like, oh my God, like I'm gonna eat $700 like New Mexico, but you get your money back, but.
Right.
That's a whole other story.
But you're still. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Well, we appreciate you listening to the podcast. Nate, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to chatting with you soon. So make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, y'all are very
Where
welcome.
can somebody follow you? You do run a guide service, so if somebody's looking
I do. So my regular Instagram is Nate Wilson FTW, and then my guide service is Three Amigos Guide Service, and I think on Instagram it's Three Amigos GS. And that's. I don't have a website or anything. I don't own a computer, and I should probably get one at some point. But I figured I've made it this far without one, so
word of mouth is the best.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
For sure, man.
Guys, hit him up. He'll put you on fish. So.
All right, man.
Well, appreciate it, guys.
Cool, dude.
Thanks everybody for listening, and Q Brayley.
Stormwater Creek is the best. Grinch, the captain. Aim, the helper. Jordan, the problem solver. I hope you like Stormwater Creek. Stormwater Creek.